Okay, welcome to the tutorial that's going to prepare your image for the laser for your laminated project. Here's our first of a few. This one's going to cover getting your cutting board design into Inkscape, which is the program you see on the screen right now. This is one we're going to use. Getting it into this program so that we can use it as reference for the size of the image that we're going to put on the cutting board. So follow along. I'm just going to close this box here. Now when you first open Inkscape, it's probably going to open like this. And what's in front of us here is what's supposed to look like an 8.5 by 11 regular sized sheet of photocopy paper. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to File, and we are going to go to Import. And from Import, you're going to go and find your working drawing that you made. So where did I put that? I think I put it under Documents, as you should have, under Maker 9, and then I think it was this one. So I'm going to double click that. Ooh, hang on. Double click. There we go. It will come up with this dialog box. Just accept this, and you can see what's coming in up here, and push OK. So it's going to take a moment, and it brings it in. So this is what we're going to use to size our image, but we're going to alter it a bit. So right now when I pick it, and by the way, your pick tool is this one up in the upper left. So if you end up on some other tool, make sure you're using this one to pick things, or selection tool. If I pick it, I can ungroup it. So I'm going to go up to Object, and I'm going to go to Ungroup. And when I do that, it should start looking like a bunch of different dashed lines around everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to click out here somewhere to deselect it. And then individually I'm going to click on things like that. I'm going to hit Delete key on my keyboard. So hit Delete, click that, hit Delete, click this, hit Delete, and eventually, don't forget Control Z works here too. So if you make a mistake, just Control Z and try again. So we'll click this and we'll click this. This is the only view that we need. And so here I am with the last view that I need, the top-down view of my cutting board. It could be the bottom for all that matters. I know there's a drip groove on it, but we're just, again, using this as reference for size. Now, when I pick this last view and highlight it, I can see its size up here, its width and its height. And it's in millimeters right now. We made this thing in inches, so I'm going to change the unit to inches. Now that I've done that, I can make mine the size that it was when I made it. Now here's where you would want to go and actually measure your cutting board as it turned out. I know that we planned it to be a certain size, but not everybody achieved that. And what we want to do here is put in the size that it actually turned out to be. So I can't remember exactly what mine was. Let's pretend I'm measuring it in front of me. And I think it was, I don't know, let's just say it's 14 wide and 10 high. Oop, 10 high. So say it turned out to be that, push enter. There's my cutting board and its size. Oh, to scroll, it's Control and your scroll wheel on your mouse. That moves you in and out for zooming. And then if you want to pan around, just like in Fusion, you hold your middle mouse scroll wheel down and you can push things around. And if you just use your scroll wheel by itself, it actually acts kind of like a web page. It moves this bar up and down, so you can just scroll up and down this way. So here I'm going to zoom in it, that's zoom in on it, Control and middle mouse scroll wheel, and there was what I have. Now, that's all we have to do to get this in here. One more thing is that the lines are pretty chunky, and you know, that's not the way I like to look at it, but it won't matter too much, but it's a little bold. So what I'm going to do is change some line qualities here. I'm going to go up here under Object again, and I'm going to pick something called Fill and Stroke. And it's pop up a dialog over here. And I'm going to make sure the fill, there's 3 tabs we're going to work through. I'm going to make sure the fill is turned off. That's this X, no painting for filling. If I turn that on, I could fill it like that, but I don't want that. So I'm going to turn that off. Now I'm going to head over to stroke. And if I hit this box, I can change the color of the stroke. If all these, it's red, green, blue, if you set those all to 0, then it will just be black. Click out here, there we go. So if you have no color is black. I'm going to head back to stroke and have a look at that again. Well, got to pick the item, then you can see what the qualities are of it. This one down here is how transparent it is. Always leave this one at 255. That's max. There's a little slidey bar. If you don't remember the number, you can slide this bar back and forth. And maximum is 255. That's where you want it. 255. slide that part at the end. There we go. Leave that there. The last one is stroke style. This is actually the one I got into this for. When I go to stroke style, I can pick the thickness of the stroke in thousandths of an inch, or I could use other options here. I'll pick thousandths of an inch, and I'm going to make it something like, I don't know, 0.01. And then when I click out here, you'll see what that looks like. That seems a little nicer. So that's how you change line types in here. Last thing we're going to do is, just for now, we're going to get rid of this piece of paper because it really doesn't help us with our design. So we're going to go File, and then we're going to go down here to Document Properties, and then we are going to turn off the border down here, Show Page Border. So click that and it will go away, and then you can close this dialog box. Okay, we are all set to start bringing an image into here and adjusting it, which will be the next tutorial. So we'll see you there.